week's programming. I know a lot of you are ready to see how this strength cycle ends and some of the stuff and how it ends and get moved to the next phase. We're dropping down to 6 sets of 2 this week on our back squats and push press. We're also adding in an additional bench press day, and then we're going to review the aerobic day on Thursday a little bit more in depth. So this week, what we got to start off with is Monday. We're going to do some a power clean and jerk EMOM to get started with. We're only doing 2 reps. You're going to do power clean and jerks. If we can do touch and goes, that's going to be really great. And we're going to try to focus in on that 65 to 75% range if you're 1 rep max. For a lot of you, that's going to feel really easy. What this is focusing on speed, technique, and efficiency. And we're building also some capacity in that. And we haven't been really practicing those touch and go reps. We've been putting in a lot more barbell cycling and everything else. After we get done with the Halloween circuit, we are going to start doing that more and more, getting ready for our open season at the beginning of the year. So we got 2 reps every minute on the minute for 10 minutes, 65 to 75%. Please do not work your way up to a 2 rep max. We are not trying to max out today. Emphasize that. We are not maxing out today. Then after that, we got every 3 minutes for 7 sets. So for 21 minutes, you're going to do a 15-10 cal bike sprint, not pacing, sprint, 10 knees to elbows, and then you have 100-foot farmer's carries with 250s or 235s. If we're in the gym, we can set this up to where we have the bikes set up inside the rig that you're going to be using the knees to elbows with, and then you can walk on the other pull-up bar down and back. What is that? 2 times. Because 25 feet is out and back is 50 feet, so doing that twice. We're going to do that for a continuation of 21 minutes. And then we have some core work after that. Can't emphasize enough for all of you that want to get better at gymnastics, better at muscle ups, better at rope climbs, build more endurance on the bar for toes to bar, pull-ups, etc. These L-set holds help out that tremendously. If you want to get a strong core, L-set holds. We can do them from the parallettes, we can do them hanging from the rings, we can do them from hanging from the bar. Any way we can, we're going to try to accumulate 3 to 5, or try to accumulate at least 2 minutes, or do 3 to 5 sets of max effort. If you can't do your legs straight out, tuck your knees to your chest, try to pull your knees up as high as you possibly can. If you pull them up and your knees are still below your hip line, you're not getting that much core activation. So it might as well be down on the ground doing hollow rock holds until we can build that strength up there and then move into the L-set positions. Tuesday, back squats, got our 6 sets of 2 again, 2 reps every 2 minutes for 12 minutes. We're looking at 80-85% range plus 5 pounds than last week. Said plus 5 pounds, not plus 10 pounds. So you're not adding 5-pound plates, you're adding 2.5-pound plates. We should have enough 2.5-pound plates to fit everybody in the squat racks for that. So sharing a bar and sharing the 2.5-pound plates is a must this week. And then after that, we're just going old school, traditional EMOM. EMOM 20 minutes, 250 meter or 200 meter row sprint on the odd minutes, even minutes you rest. That way if you have a big class, we can split this up. If you want to do competitors, 300 and 250 is kind of like the standard of that. That is like a 140 or less pace for the competitors. That's like a 145 pace for the RX. And then if you're fitness, and we know that we're not used to this kind of intensity, what you're going to do is just 40 to 45 seconds of max effort work, rest 15 to 20 seconds, repeat that, and add up your total calories at the end of it. Then after that, really important, we add this in. It is leg day, it is squat day. We're not doing very much high volume on the squatting, so we're going to add in a little bit more volume on the backside. We're going to do some dumbbell Bulgarian split squats, 2 to 3 sets, 6 on your right, 6 on your left. Heavy, heavy, heavy. Wednesday, bench press. We're going to do a building set, 10-8-6-4-2 for this week. And then after that, we got a very shoulder intensive AMRAP. It says 4 rounds for max effort reps. We're going to do 3 minutes of max effort lying facing burpees, and then 1 minute of ring muscle ups. If you don't have ring muscle ups, we can do jumping ring muscle ups, we can do jumping bar muscle ups, we can do low transition ring muscle ups. I'll try to find a video and post in the Wodify app, and hopefully it works. And then after that, we're going to do some this is really important too to add into your accessory work, especially after a heavy shoulder intensive day like this, is knee supported dumbbell external rotation. That is really, really good for all of your shoulder, for all those folks out there that might have some minor aches and pains in your shoulders. This right here is very traditional rehab, that exercise that physical therapists use to help strengthen shoulders up post-surgery. So why not do it pre-injury? And just makes sense sometimes. Thursday, we got our aerobic day. Now I've noticed the past couple weeks, attendance is getting low during these days, and I think the attendance should be almost higher on these days than they should on the other days. We do a lot of strength work, we do a lot of Metcons in here, and probably more than any other gym, we probably do a lot more aerobic work too. Aerobic work is really crucial. I know a lot of people who have been successful not only in the sport of CrossFit, but just for health and longevity over time. They have a massive aerobic base. And I know we've all seen the muscle heads and everybody just lift weights. Guess what? Most of them are still not as fit as they can be. Generally what you find is the person who is the more aerobically fit individual plus strength is going to be the fittest person and the healthiest person in the long run. And I think the aerobic work that a lot of you have been skipping out on is very valuable, not only to increasing your fitness levels, I'm about to go over that, but increasing your health. If we increase your VO2 max, I know that's really big. Peter Attia, Dr. Peter Attia, he is really big on the VO2 max. I know that exploded over the social media websites for about the past year. And there's absolutely 100% truth to it. The higher VO2 max, generally the longer that a person's going to live. You know, we see these 80, 90-year-olds nowadays that row 30 to 40 minutes a day on the rower, or they go out for their run still, or they still get on the bikes. They still do these great things, and you see them in their later ages still living a very high quality of life. And another aspect of that too is the bigger your foundation is. So we all know, well, we all probably all don't know, but there's three energy pathways. You got your glycogen, your phosphogenic, your glycogen, and then your aerobic. Your glycogen is like 1 to 10 seconds, like a 100-meter sprint, 1 rep max, those type of lifts. The glycogen is kind of like where CrossFit lives. It's like that 30 seconds to 3-minute range where it's just pure anaerobic, where there's no oxygen involved. This is the lactic acid, this is the pain threshold type of exercise. This is what CrossFit lives for right here. And then you have your aerobic, and that's a long, sustainable effort that you can build. The higher your aerobic capacity is, the greater you can be in your glycogenic pathway, the greater you can be like in all the CrossFit workouts, the greater you can be, and the greater your recovery is between those max efforts, lifts or sprints. The faster your recovery be, the more efficient your recovery be. Between those, the higher aerobic capacity is. So when you're doing these right here, and I tell you to be like 70, 80%, that zone 2 thing, I like zone 2, but then again, I'm not a big fan of zone 2. I'm a big fan of just getting in the work. Finding your pace, make sure you can kind of have like a 3 to 5 word sentence conversation with a friend while you're doing it, something that you're not completely out of breath, but one that you're just not having a conversation like I'm having right now with this camera. That's what we're looking for on these type of days, and they're very valuable for you. Now we got our core work. You're going to do a dumbbell overhead march, double dumbbell overhead. So you're holding 2 dumbbells overhead, marching in place, bringing your knees all the way up to your chest if you can, and then you got your 20 oblique side crunches. Friday, push press, 2 reps every 2 minutes for 12 minutes again, going up a little bit heavier again. And then we got a fun, now this right here is your pain. And this is where we get uncomfortable a little bit. You got 10 wall balls, 10 snatches. These can be power snatches or squat snatches. If you want to work on your squat snatches, I'd highly recommend doing 10 of those. And then we got 20 wall balls, 20 handstand push-ups, 30 wall balls, 30 box jumps, 40 wall balls, 40 deadlifts at the weight that you do the snatches with. Don't be taking weights on and off. Just because you can't snatch as much as you deadlift, it's not about the strength work on this workout. Like the other week, whenever I saw that chipper we had with, I think it was like thrusters and deadlifts or something like that. Can't remember, but I remember going in and just seeing everybody taking weights on and off in the middle of the workout. That is not, if it's a lighter weight, guess what you get to do? You get to go faster and you get to move with more efficiency on that. Don't be adding the weight in, jeopardizing your form and then make it in a strength workout. Not everything's meant to be a strength workout. This right here is meant to get that heart rate up. Like if I'm looking at this, I'm seeing if I can go unbroken on this, on just about everything in here. Maybe not the snatches at 155, but I can do fast singles. I might be able to do 10 power snatches, but then I'm gonna be toast for the rest of it. And the 40 deadlifts, that'd be really tough for me to do 40 deadlifts right now. But everything else, so wall balls, I'm gonna look at unbroken. Handstand push-ups looking unbroken. Box jumps looking at nice and steady with a step down. And then if I can do a big set of deadlifts, I'm gonna do a big set of deadlifts. So I want that weight to be light here. I want it to be probably like 65 to 75% on the power snatch, on the snatches right here, and then this deadlift it should be the same weight. So it should be like 35 to 50% if you're running max. So you're still looking at something super, super light for you on deadlifts. And then Saturday we got a partner workout for a lot. We have a lot of people who might miss Wednesdays because Wednesdays has been kind of like the slow day lately. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna add some burpees in here for some good conditioning, 150 synchro burpees. And if we can, we're gonna do these over the bar. So they're gonna be lateral movements. So if I have a bar here, one person, jump over, down, jump over, down, jump over, and going back and forth, every 2.5 minutes, where you're gonna start with this, but then every 2.5 minutes, each person does 5 hang power cleans at 185, 125, into 10 synchro toes to bar. Once y'all get done with that as a team, you work on your 150 synchro burpees. And we can scale down from there depending on your fitness level. That's this week's workouts. If you got any questions, inquiries, hit me up, email, text, however you want to. And y'all have a great week. See your names on the leaderboard.